G'day, and welcome back to the Rainbow Six Siege Rostermania World Tour. Today, we're going to be talking the North American leg of the mid-year shuffle. Like last time, all moves discussed are more or less confirmed at the time of recording, and any trade rumors will be mentioned, but not necessarily taken as gospel. So, let's talk North America Rostermania, and this one is going to be fun. Kicking off with the biggest piece of news, Cloud9 is back. Kind of. A new partnership means new potential for the most recent major winners in Beast Coast, but they'll have to do it without Fettuccini or Froshi, as the former has retired to focus on its PhD program and returned to Cloud9 Beast Coast as a content creator, and the latter has gone over to Luminosity. Mossy and Vivid have come over from Luminosity to take their place as analyst and coach respectively, but they've got quite the legacy to live up to. And I hope they can pull it off. They have the 5-star to do it as they have gone unchanged. Let's hope Cloud9's return begins with a bang. Moving over to Luminosity. Now this one gets a little complicated, so do pay attention. Firstly, Hat gets drafted from Luminosity due to OXG, and Surf takes his place in the lineup. However, after the Esports World Cup, he gets dropped, and Woos comes in from the new Makers lineup to replace him. At the same time, former Revan E-Cup coach Sublek gets a call up as Luminosity's new coach, with Froshi as his new analyst. In terms of grading this team for Stage 2, I'll say net positive all in all. A major winning analyst is never a bad thing to have in your back pocket, and Sublek did helm Makers to their Element 3 win earlier in the month. Let's hope they can steer this team into better results come the end of Stage 2. In what is quite possibly the biggest coup to come out of North America, we have the Sonics. First piece of news to come out of this one, Goddess has decided to retire from competitive Siege after an extensive career as both player and coach for the Sonics. She helmed the Sonics to several domestic wins and multiple LAN main stage appearances at both Majors and the SI, but she was unable to get the Org's maiden LAN win. It's going to be sad to see her go, and we wish her all the best for their future endeavors. Meantime, Super is stepping in for the coaching role for at least Stage 2. The other big piece of news to come out of the Sonics is the departure of Merc and Adam, and the arrival of both Surf and Canadian. Yep, Dark Zero's IGL has left the team in purple and joined the boys in teal. Having someone of Canadian's IGL dedication pairing up with Grixer and Rexon's fragging prowess? Oh, Sonics are suddenly looking very, very scary. But I feel like Surf is the wild card that I can't really place. He's perfectly capable by all metrics, but he hasn't really had a breakout period that catapulted him into a household name. Could he get that with the Sonics? It's very possible. He's going to be surrounded by dedicated veterans that could mold him into a fantastic gunner. Time will tell with that one. With Canadian departing Dark Zero for greener pastures, the squad in purple needed a new gunner, so they scooped up Kobalax from the new Makers NA roster. He's not a bad player in his own right, but he's got some very, very big Canadian-sized shoes to fill. Let's hope the pressure doesn't get to him. My big question, though, is who is going to be DZ's brand new IGL? If I were a betting man, I would put my money on NJR, because he definitely has the capability to step up when needed. Dark Zero is definitely going to be feeling Canadian's absence in more ways than one, but I have a feeling that the boys can definitely pick themselves up and put in some good results for Stage 2. Could they make it to Montreal? We will see. Moving over to Space Station Gaming, and we have Iconic departing the team. While it is sad to see him leave, there is a little bit more to this. It turns out that Iconic actually required corrective surgery on his mouse hand for a pair of isolated cysts that developed on a nerve ending in his wrists. At the time of recording, the surgery was successful and he's expected to make a full recovery. In the meantime, SSG has announced that Benjamaster will be his replacement. Now, I'm not completely certain that this is the right move. As good as Benja is when he is firing, I'm not so sure he's the right fit for this squad. Also, I can't figure out whether this is only a temporary replacement while Iconic goes under rehab, or if this is going to be more of a long-term move. In any case, Benja's inclusion will help with the fragging potential. I really hope this move works for him, because moving countries is a big commitment. Let's hope and pray that he can pay SSG back for taking a chance on him. With the new season comes a slight rebrand for M80. While I'm not a big fan of the new logo, I am a bigger fan of their new pickup. M80 has parted ways with M80 after a somewhat shaky Stage 1, and a really solid Manchester Major where he was ranked in the top 10 overall. Noodle not having him home again is rather tragic because he's proven time and again to be a great player. However, it's his replacement that most people are excited for, and that is the recently unretired Hyper. The former Dark Zero gunner has made his way back into Tier 1 through M80 after a brief 2-month stint in Tier 2. Let's hope Hyper hasn't lost any of his skill in his time away. Speaking of rebrands, Wildcard also decided to shake things up, and I gotta say, I'm liking the new logo. It's kind of growing on me. I'm less certain about the roster, however. Rampy and Vertical have found themselves out of a team for Stage 2 and have been replaced with Spiff and Bay. Spiff is already a somewhat proven quantity with brief stints on various squads throughout 2023, including Australis and Parabellum, and he didn't do too badly. Bay, however, seems to be the more interesting pick. He has a 1.18 lifetime rating on Siege GG, mostly on support ops, and he was among the best players on the SSG and Aerial Arise squads. The kid has talent, and he's had a taste of Tier 1 competition through Elements 2 and 3, as well as Wildcard Restart. But can he stack up against his new teammates in his first true test at the top level? Wildcard seems to think he can. Moving on to Oxygen, and I don't really know what to make of them right now. They seem to be stuck in limbo, and have been for some time. There was even rumor at one point that OXG would pull the plug altogether, but their Siege team is sticking around for at least another stage. But they're going to be without Dream or their long-standing coach Hopes, who decided to part ways after 3 years of service to the org. Standing in for Dream is Luminosity alum Hats, who has become a bit of a journeyman throughout his career, with stints on reality TV, Beast Coast, and Luminosity before ending up on LXG. And he's certainly not a bad player, with a 1.03 life rating mostly on Verd ops like Buck and Sledge. Keezy as the new coach was a bit of a surprise for me, given his time on both Furia as well as E1 Esports in Brazil. So seeing him make the switch from Brazil to North America is definitely going to be an interesting move for him, even though he is far from the first one to do that. And finally, we have the all-Brazilian squad of Los, and there's not really much to report on these guys. Sure, Rise leaving to go to Elevate Academy is worth a mention, but Arthur and Wizard coming in from E1 and NIP respectively to make it a 6-man squad for Los kind of makes me wonder what they're cooking. We've seen Ents do the 6-man thing last stage in Europe. It didn't really work. We've seen GK and Mina try it again for stage 2. It didn't work the first time, so I don't know why they're doing it again. I really don't know if third time's a charm for a squad setup like this, but if anyone could possibly pull it off, it may well just be the Brazilians to do it. And we are at the end of the North American leg of our Rostermania tour. Next time we head towards Brazil to see what is next for the Kings of Siege. Until then, this is your resident Silverwolf, signing out.